Hi there, I hope you have a lovely day. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jana. So today I have my update, November update for the project Clue, a special panning edition. If you don't, I'm just going to turn up the lights a little bit. Sorry for that. If you don't know this project, this is a project created by Stephanie Ledger here, and it is based on the board game Clue or Cluedo, as we know it here in this German-speaking region. And within this game, you are looking for the murder suspect, for the murder weapon, as well as the room where the murder took place. And Stephanie transformed this game into a project pen, so to say, and we are working on that. Last month, you didn't see any update from me for October because I was kind of busy, and I was like, I skipped this update, but I just want to keep you posted what were my guesses, because at the beginning of each month, we put our guesses into the Facebook group, and Stephanie has an individualized answer for us. So for October, I had the guess Mr. White, knife, and ballroom, and Stephanie said it's not a ballroom, so that was the elimination of the room itself. Then for November, I said my guess now, Professor Plum, lead pipe, billiard room, and she also said it was not the billiard room. So 2 rooms are eliminated from the list of potential locations for the where the murder took place. So I just have printed out also the paper here, and I just crossed it out. Now, just to give you an update about last month, or actually 2 months ago, what I was working on, I have 3 palettes in rotation within this project. So for October, I had picked this little guy here. So this was the palette that I picked. This is the Makeup Revolution Joker palette, you know, in collaboration with the DC movie. They brought out this palette, and of course my murder suspects were Plum, Peacock, and White. So just let me, sorry, I have just limited space here. Professor Plum, Mrs. Peacock, and Mrs. White. So I worked on those, as you can see. So what was I supposed to do? Plum, I used 5 times. You can see definitely that there is a dip going on if I hold the palette like this. Peacock, definitely the blue shade. You can see that there is a big pen showing. It's like a putty kind of consistency of this cream eyeshadows, let's say. It's not a pure powder. It's not powder at all. And the Dior. And for Mrs. White, I had this little guy in the Dior mascara primer, and as you can see, it's not white anymore. There is a little bit left, but I have not taken out the primer, the stopper from it, because I thought it's not worth it to work on it. So instead of this one, I put actually another product in that's also white, and it also falls into the same category. This is this little guy here, and this is from Essence, the Volume Booster Lash Primer. So just for your information. Now, okay, so this palette is out in that sense. And then for the these were the murder suspects. For the weapon, I had the knife, rope, and lead pipe in. The rope is still in my bathroom, so it was from Cantu, a leave-in conditioner, something like that for curly hair. I was supposed to use it 12 times. I think I used it less than 12 times. I think 4 times maybe. And then for the knife, I have this little guy here. This is actually not the original Estee Lauder perfume anymore, but this is a mix out of two foundations. It's very late. I'm filming it kind of late for me. My brain is not working anymore. This little guy here from, this is a Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Foundation. I mixed that in, as well as this old Kat Von D foundation within this little guy, and I also pumped it into this little bottle, you know. So I'm working on that one. I definitely used it more than 8 times, because I was supposed to be using it 8 times. Then for the lead pipe, I have here, you might have seen already my update for the That palette, but I have also a face palette within that project. So that's this little guy here, and you see I'm putting it into good use. So I was supposed to be using this one 3 times, but I used it definitely more than 3 times. So as you can see, there is a big pan showing. So that's one is still there. Then for the ballroom, I had the Bobbi Brown highlighter in. So this little guy is the highlighting powder in Pink Glow. So it's like a travel size thing. And you can see that there is a big pan, or not a big pan, but a tiny pan showing. I was supposed to be using that 8 times. I used it definitely more than 8 times. I had this one also in for the billiard room. And I was supposed to be using that 6 times. I definitely used it also 6 times. So that one has been also used. Now for the conservatory, something that it smells nice, I believe. I had this little guy in and I was supposed to be using it 5 times. I used it definitely 5 times because you can see the dome gets flatter and flatter. So now let's go to November in that sense. What will I use in November, and how many times do I have to use the things that I want to put into this project? Now, the thing is, within this project, Stephanie said, if you want to determine how many uses you have to, you know, how many times you have to use a product, just roll the dice. So that's what I'm doing. And just to give you an update, the palette that I have picked now for this month's rotation is the Blossom palette. It's a very old palette from Blush Tribe. Blush Tribe doesn't exist anymore, and this palette has seen better days as well. But I thought, you know what, this is one of the older matte palettes that I have. Let's use it. So again, we have 3 shades still in, or 3 suspects still in: Mrs. White, Peacock, as well as Plum. So there, because there is no yellow shade in this palette right now, I'm just not looking at yellow. And also green, I'm not looking at green at the moment, but I want to use definitely for Plum these 2 shades, Peacock as well in combination maybe. So, you know, I have here this blue shade as well as these 2 purple shades. So this is 3, as well as for the Mrs. White suspect, the lash primer. I want to use that. So let's roll the dice. Let's say for Mrs. Plum or Professor Plum, and I can show you, I rolled the dice. It's 11 times. Dexter, 9. My cat is looking right now and wants to go up. 9. Maybe I have to stop the video for a second because Monsieur is tempted to jump up and my table is full. No, 9. And then for Peacock, 6 times. Okay, and White for the lash primer. Let's roll the dice again. 8 times. So 8 times. Now weapon, again, Kat Von D. I will just keep it, the knife, I will keep using the knife. So that's 4 times, but of course I will use it more than 4 times for sure. So then I wanted to use actually another curl forming thing, but I didn't bring it with me right now. So I will just continue to use a ballet, not the Cantu forming thingy. So if you want to know how it looks like, you have to look at the September update. So that's 8. So Cantu 8 times. And the lead pipe, you know, the sleek palette for sure. I want to see, it's also 8 times. Yeah, so that's for sure. Now the conservatory, I want to use definitely this little guy again because it's similar to the blush actually in this sleek palette. So it's also a shimmery blush. So I have it also on my cheeks today. So 6 times. So Kiko is 6. Then for the billiard room, I cannot use anymore because it's not there anymore. What do? Launch. I do launch. What do we say about launch? Something you sit down to use. So I have here actually a face powder. What is it? Franken face powder. It's a blush from the Body Shop, as well as another foundation kind of powder foundation thingy. I mixed that together, so I need to sit down to use it because it's pressed by me. It crumbles very quickly, so and that's why I want to use it while sitting, not standing. So let's assume how many times let's think how many times I will use it. 4 times, but definitely for sure I'm using it right now at this moment. So powder 4 times. Now I need to quickly pick something that I want to use. Library. What can I do for library? Something, anything but tell a story about it. Library. Okay. Mascara. Let's do the MAC mascara that I'm using right now, because I know it's a long story short. I bought a lot of shit ton of mascaras from MAC because I was really enchanted with the brand MAC when I started to be, you know, getting into makeup habits, etc., makeup buying habits. And I have maybe over 20 mascaras that I have still not touched from MAC, only from MAC, you know. So, and yeah, let's take that one as for library. So how many times do I have to use it? I'm using it anyway on a daily basis 10 times. So MAC mascara 10 times. If you hear now the scratch noises, I have boxes outside and cats like to climb into boxes and look at the boxes and scratch them, etc., etc. So yeah, that was my clue update. I hope you enjoyed it. I see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.